I bet you didn't know that your morning coffee could be the secret weapon against muscle loss after 65. Here's what's shocking. Over 30% of adults over 65 are losing muscle mass at an alarming rate of 3 to 8% per year. Yet they're drinking coffee every single morning without realizing they're missing a simple addition that could completely reverse this process. If you're over 65 and you've noticed that climbing stairs feels harder, your legs don't feel as strong as they used to, or you're walking a little slower than before, listen carefully. This isn't just normal aging. There's something called anabolic resistance happening inside your body right now, and it's stealing your strength faster than you think. But what I'm about to share with you is a natural, science-backed solution that can turn your daily cup of coffee into a muscle-building powerhouse. According to research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, seniors who added one specific compound to their routine saw a 16 to 30% increase in muscle protein synthesis. That's equivalent to turning back the clock on your muscle-building capacity by decades. The Journal of Gerontology published findings showing that adults who used this strategy maintained 85% more muscle mass over a 5-year period compared to those who didn't. And the best part? You don't need expensive supplements, you don't need to hit the gym for hours, and you definitely don't need medications. Before we dive in, I want to know, are you watching from the US? Drop a comment below and let me know what state you're in. And if this information could help someone you care about, make sure to hit that subscribe button because I share evidence-based health strategies like this every single day. Now, let me explain exactly what's happening inside your body and why this matters so much more than you realize. The CDC reports that sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss, affects nearly 45% of older adults in America, leading to increased falls, fractures, and loss of independence. But here's what they're not telling you. This isn't inevitable. Most people think muscle loss after 65 is just normal aging, but that's only half the story. Yes, there's a natural decline, but the real culprit is something called anabolic resistance. Think of your muscles like a house that needs daily repairs. When you're young, every time you eat protein, your body sends in construction workers, amino acids, enzymes, hormones, to patch things up and build new structures. But after 60, your foreman stops responding to the signal. The workers show up, but they're disorganized. The repair slows down, and over time, your muscle tissue starts crumbling faster than it's being rebuilt. Here's what's really happening at the cellular level. When you consume protein, your body breaks it down into amino acids. These amino acids, especially one called leucine, trigger a pathway called mTOR, mechanistic target of rapamycin. mTOR is your body's muscle-building switch. It tells your muscle cells, time to grow. But in seniors, mTOR activation weakens dramatically. The same dose of protein that would build muscle at 30 doesn't work nearly as well at 70. A groundbreaking 2023 review published in Nutrients revealed that older adults require 30 to 40% more leucine-rich protein per meal to get the same muscle-building response as younger adults. The International Journal of Sport Nutrition published research showing that without proper amino acid signaling, adults lose up to 8% of their muscle mass per decade after age 40. But here's where it gets interesting. Clinical studies show that when seniors take one specific amino acid in the right form, their rate of muscle protein synthesis increases significantly, even without exercise. Research from Harvard Medical School found that muscle isn't just about movement. It's your body's glucose disposal system. When you lose muscle, your blood sugar regulation fails, leading to insulin resistance, belly fat accumulation, and metabolic dysfunction. The American Diabetes Association reports that over 65% of adults with type 2 diabetes also have significant muscle loss. This isn't coincidence, it's causation. And that's where your morning coffee becomes the perfect delivery system. But before I reveal exactly what to add to your coffee, let me ask you this. How many of you have noticed that despite eating what you think is enough protein, you're still feeling weaker? Comment below and let me know, because this is more common than you think. Let me count down the top 7 reasons why this coffee strategy works so effectively, starting with number 7. Number 7. The circadian advantage. Your body operates on natural rhythms, and muscle protein synthesis follows these patterns closely. Research published in Cell Metabolism shows that your muscles are most responsive to growth signals in the early morning hours, specifically within the first 2 hours of waking. This is when cortisol levels are naturally elevated, not the stress hormone you might think it is, but actually your body's natural wake-up call that primes your muscles for rebuilding. The National Institute on Aging found that seniors who timed their protein intake to match these circadian rhythms showed 23% better muscle retention over 12 months compared to those who spread protein evenly throughout the day. Your morning coffee ritual isn't just habit. It's hitting the optimal biological window for muscle preservation. Studies from the University of Texas demonstrated that muscle protein synthesis rates are 40% higher in the morning compared to evening in adults over 60. This circadian muscle sensitivity is something pharmaceutical companies spend millions trying to replicate in drugs, but you can harness it naturally with proper timing. Number 6. The insulin sensitivity window. Here's something your doctor might not have told you. Your insulin sensitivity is highest in the morning after an overnight fast. This creates a unique metabolic environment that's perfect for muscle building. When insulin sensitivity is high, your muscles can efficiently use amino acids for repair and growth without the interference of blood sugar spikes. Research from the Diabetes Research Institute shows that morning insulin sensitivity can be up to 60% higher than afternoon levels in healthy adults. For seniors, this window is even more critical because age-related insulin resistance typically worsens throughout the day. By targeting this morning window, you're working with your body's natural rhythm instead of against it. The Journal of Clinical Investigation published findings showing that when amino acids are consumed during peak insulin sensitivity hours, muscle uptake increases by 35% compared to consumption during insulin-resistant periods. This means the same amount of muscle-building nutrients works significantly better when timed correctly. Number 5. The perfect metabolic environment. Your first cup of coffee in the morning creates a unique metabolic environment that most people completely overlook. When you wake up, your body is in a fasted state. Insulin is low, cortisol is naturally elevated, and your sympathetic nervous system is primed for action. Caffeine amplifies all of these beneficial effects. Specifically, caffeine stimulates your sympathetic nervous system, increases blood flow by up to 30%, and temporarily boosts metabolism by 8 to 15%. This means faster absorption of nutrients and better signaling through the mTOR pathway when the right amino acids are present. The European Journal of Applied Physiology found that caffeine consumption increased amino acid uptake into muscle tissue by 25% compared to placebo. A 2022 study in Frontiers in Physiology showed that taking specific amino acids in a low insulin state resulted in significantly higher mTOR activation and greater muscle protein synthesis in older adults compared to taking the same dose later with a mixed meal. Coffee creates that ideal low insulin environment while simultaneously enhancing absorption and utilization. But here's the kicker. Coffee also contains natural compounds called chlorogenic acids that improve insulin sensitivity and glucose metabolism. A study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that regular coffee consumption was associated with 23% better insulin sensitivity in adults over 60. You're not just delivering nutrients, you're optimizing your body's ability to use them. Number 4. The clean signal advantage. Here's something most people don't understand about muscle building. It's not just about getting enough protein. It's about getting a clean, undistracted signal to your muscles. When you take muscle-building nutrients with a high-carb breakfast like oatmeal, toast, or fruit, several things happen that sabotage your efforts. First, insulin spikes dramatically, which sounds good, but actually confuses the mTOR pathway. Research from the University of Illinois found that when insulin and amino acids hit your system simultaneously, the muscle-building signal gets diluted by up to 40%. Second, competing amino acids from mixed protein sources fight for absorption, reducing the effectiveness of the most important muscle-building amino acid, leucine. Black coffee doesn't contain competing amino acids, glucose, or anything else that might blunt the muscle-building signal. It's a clean delivery system that allows for maximum nutrient uptake and utilization. The International Journal of Sport Nutrition published research showing that amino acid absorption was 40% more efficient when taken in a fasted state with caffeine compared to with mixed meals. Think of it like this. If you're trying to have an important conversation, would you rather do it in a quiet room or at a loud party? Your muscles prefer the quiet room, and black coffee provides exactly that environment. Number 3. The leucine threshold revolution. Now we get to the heart of the matter. The nutrient we're talking about is leucine, a branched-chain amino acid that acts as the master switch for muscle growth in your body. But here's the critical part that most people miss. Leucine doesn't work gradually like a dimmer switch. It works like an on-off switch, and you need to hit a specific threshold to turn it on. To activate mTOR and trigger muscle protein synthesis, you need what researchers call the leucine threshold, typically 2.5 to 3 grams per serving, taken all at once. That's equivalent to eating about 30 to 40 grams of high-quality protein, like 5 whole eggs or a full chicken breast in one sitting. Most seniors don't eat that much protein at breakfast, and as a result, they miss what scientists call the anabolic window. A landmark study in the Journal of Nutrition found that older adults who consumed 3 grams of leucine showed the same mTOR activation as younger adults consuming standard protein meals. But here's what's remarkable. Participants who took 1.5 grams twice daily showed virtually no muscle-building response, while those who took 3 grams once daily showed dramatic improvements. It's all about hitting that threshold. The American Journal of Physiology published research showing that leucine threshold dosing in seniors resulted in 45% greater muscle protein synthesis compared to spreading the same amount throughout the day. This isn't about more, it's about strategic timing and dosing. Instead of forcing down a huge protein meal first thing in the morning, you can simply add 3 grams of pure leucine powder to your black coffee. It dissolves easily, has virtually no taste, and starts working within 20 to 30 minutes. You're essentially giving your muscles a direct command to start building and repairing. Number 2. The metabolic engine effect. Here's what most people don't realize about muscle loss. It's not just a cosmetic or strength issue. Muscle tissue is your body's primary metabolic engine, and losing it creates a cascade of health problems that accelerate aging and disease risk. Even at rest, muscle tissue burns 3 times more energy than fat tissue. The Mayo Clinic reports that every pound of muscle burns approximately 6 to 7 calories per day just to maintain itself, while fat burns only 2 to 3 calories. When you lose muscle mass, your basal metabolic rate drops significantly, meaning you burn fewer calories even if your diet and activity level don't change. But the metabolic effects go far beyond calorie burning. Muscle is your body's primary glucose disposal system. Every time you eat carbohydrates, your muscles act like sponges, absorbing glucose from your bloodstream and storing it as glycogen. When muscle mass shrinks, glucose has nowhere to go, so it stays elevated in your blood, triggering chronic insulin production. Research published in Diabetes Care showed that adults with higher muscle mass had 23% better glucose tolerance and 19% lower insulin resistance compared to those with lower muscle mass, regardless of body weight. The NIH reports that muscle mass is actually a better predictor of metabolic health than BMI in adults over 65. This creates what researchers call the sarcopenic obesity spiral. As you lose muscle, your metabolism slows, you gain fat, especially dangerous, visceral fat around your organs, insulin resistance worsens, inflammation increases, and muscle loss accelerates. It's a vicious cycle that conventional approaches completely miss. But here's the good news. Research from the Journal of Applied Physiology shows that even modest increases in muscle mass can break this cycle. Study participants who increased lean muscle mass by just 10% over 16 weeks showed 15% improvement in insulin sensitivity, 12% reduction in fasting glucose, and 18% decrease in inflammatory markers. The leucine coffee protocol specifically targets the root cause, the signaling problem that prevents muscle maintenance and growth in older adults. By restoring proper mTOR activation, you're not just building muscle, you're rebuilding your entire metabolic machinery. Number 1, the master switch that changes everything. The number 1 reason this works is leucine itself, but it has to be the right form, at the right dose, at the right time. Leucine isn't just another amino acid. It's what researchers call the anabolic trigger, the specific molecular key that unlocks your body's muscle-building machinery. Here's the science. When leucine levels in your blood reach a certain threshold, they activate a protein complex called mTORC1, mechanistic target of rapamycin complex 1. This complex acts like a master switch, turning on dozens of genes involved in muscle protein synthesis, while simultaneously turning off genes involved in muscle breakdown. But here's the crucial part. This only happens with free-form leucine, not leucine bound up in whole proteins. When you eat a chicken breast, your body has to break down the complete protein, separate all the amino acids, and then deal with them competing for absorption. By the time leucine reaches your muscles, the concentration might not be high enough to flip the mTOR switch. The Journal of the International Society of Sports Nutrition published research comparing free-form leucine to leucine from whole protein sources. Free-form leucine resulted in blood leucine levels that were 60% higher and peaked 40% faster than equivalent amounts from food sources. This speed and concentration are critical for overcoming anabolic resistance in older adults. You want pharmaceutical-grade, unflavored leucine powder that dissolves completely in hot liquid. Avoid products with fillers, artificial sweeteners, or other amino acids that can interfere with absorption. The purity matters because you need that clean, concentrated signal to penetrate anabolic resistance. Studies from the American Journal of Physiology show that when seniors take 3 grams of free-form leucine in the morning fasted state, they experience improved energy within days, better muscle tone within 2 weeks, and measurable strength gains within 4 to 6 weeks. Participants also reported fewer leg cramps, better balance, and reduced falls. The timing is absolutely crucial. You want to take this within the first 30 to 60 minutes after waking when your body is insulin sensitive, cortisol is naturally elevated, and your muscles are primed for the growth signal. Miss this window, and you lose much of the benefit. Research from the University of Arkansas found that leucine taken in the morning had 3 times greater impact on 24-hour muscle protein synthesis compared to the same dose taken in the evening. Your body's internal clock matters, and you want to work with it, not against it. Now, let me give you the exact protocol that can help you start seeing results as early as tomorrow morning, along with the critical details that can make or break your success. The simplest way to start your day with leucine and coffee drink, water. Immediately after waking, within 5 minutes. Within 5 to 10 minutes of waking, drink 240 to 360 milliliters, 8 to 12 ounces, of filtered water. You can add a pinch of sea salt or a splash of lemon juice to enhance hydration. Brew your coffee 15 to 20 minutes after waking. Make a cup of hot black coffee, 77 to 80 degrees Celsius, 170 to 176 degrees Fahrenheit. Avoid sugar, cream, or sweeteners. If needed, use only a small amount of unsweetened nut milk. Add leucine, very important. Accurately add 3 grams of pure free-form leucine powder into the hot coffee and stir for 30 to 45 seconds. Use a digital scale for precise measurement. Drink at the right time. Consume the leucine coffee mixture within 30 to 60 minutes of waking. Sip slowly over 10 to 15 minutes. Do not wait beyond 90 minutes. Eat the right breakfast. 30 to 90 minutes after drinking your coffee, eat a high-protein breakfast with 25 to 35 grams of complete protein, e.g., eggs, meat, fish, healthy fats, and low glycemic vegetables. Avoid high-carb foods. Light movement, optional. If possible, do 5 to 10 minutes of light resistance exercises, e.g., squats, push-ups, 30 to 60 minutes after drinking your leucine coffee to enhance the effect. Important notes: consistency. Follow this protocol at least 5 days a week for best results. Leucine quality. Choose pure, third-party tested leucine. Medical advice: consult your doctor if you have any medical conditions or are on medication. Here's your personal challenge. Try this exact protocol for the next 7 mornings. Wake up, hydrate with salt water, brew your black coffee, stir in exactly 3 grams of pharmaceutical-grade leucine, and drink it within your optimal window. Notice how your body responds. Energy levels, strength, stability, even your mood and mental clarity. Keep a simple journal noting how you feel each day. Are stairs easier? Do your legs feel steadier? Is your energy more stable throughout the day? These subtle changes are early indicators that your muscle-building machinery is coming back online. This isn't just about building bigger muscles, though that's certainly a benefit. This is about reclaiming your metabolic youth, maintaining the strength and independence you deserve as you age, and potentially adding years of healthy, active life to your future. Remember, muscle loss isn't inevitable aging. It's a signaling problem that can be solved with the right scientific approach. Your morning coffee just became your secret weapon against sarcopenia, metabolic dysfunction, and accelerated aging. If this video opened your eyes to something new and potentially life-changing, do me a favor and hit that like button. It helps others discover this information when they need it most. Subscribe to the channel because I share evidence-based strategies like this every single day, always with the goal of helping you take control of your health through root cause solutions rather than symptomatic treatments. Most importantly, share this with someone who needs to know that staying strong, independent, and metabolically healthy after 65 is absolutely possible with the right tools and timing. Your morning routine just became a powerful intervention for healthy aging. Use it wisely, stay consistent, and watch your strength and vitality return 1 cup at a time. Your future self will thank you for taking action today.